is with us.
Very good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know if I'm the wrong person sitting at the right place or the right person sitting at the wrong place. Nevertheless, I'll try and make a few remarks which I'm sure you will appreciate. Yeah, I come from a system, the science and technology system of this country. I've almost worked there for 25 years. And currently, over the last couple of months, I'm with the Public Health Foundation of India, with my colleague Sri Raman in the audience. I'm aware of the kind of things Sri Pramod Chawla talked about, and from the government side, I used to be a member of the council of the AICTE at one point of time, and I'm certainly with him on the kind of statements that he has made. But let me add by saying that I always used to be a believer of things in the country. I thought institutions are built by people, and they should in principle stand the test of time. But over a period of time, I think I had to moderate this statement of mine. While I always used to feel that institutions are bigger than individuals, but finally it turns out that it's the individuals who sit on those institutions, who are the heads of the institutions, or who sit on the structures, are perhaps more important than the institutions, and the quality, the functioning, and the rest of all of the institutions is certainly going down. I mean, I don't have to see whether it is in science and technology or education or what have you. Of course, you have had leaders like Homi Bhabha and all. Of course, this year is the Homi Bhabha's birth centenary. Government is celebrating, and all professional institutions are celebrating. But those were the days when if Homi Bhabha were to just walk across and tell the PM that this is what needs to be done, and it used to be done. As simple as that. I mean, just to tell you how, just to give you an instance of how the scientific policy of the government was written in 1958. I mean, I'm sure it's not in the public domain, and nobody knows about this. Let me tell you how it was done in 2 seconds. Pandit Nehruji asked Homi Bhabha to produce a draft. He produced it in maybe 10-15 days. He sent it to the Cabinet Secretary of the government. And the Cabinet Secretary said to Pandit Nehru, what shall I do with this? The next section of the Parliament, you invite Dr. Homi Bhabha. I will make few remarks and he will introduce the statement. That was as simple as that. That's what happened. Parliament convened. Pandit Nehru made few remarks, couple of minutes. Homi Bhabha read the statement, the salient points, and that was how it was adopted by. And that statement till today is still valid, and the kind of issues that it talks about. I mean, how the education infrastructure subsequently was built up and all. And I'm certainly with what Mr. Chawla said, whether it is Amity or whether it is many of the institutions, I'm aware of it. And of course, there are also some positives, some signs which one must take forward, in the sense that it's only just 2 years back that the Indian Science Congress was to be held at the Amity University, obviously with the efforts of the person who was referred to. But ultimately, certainly, I mean, the government had better sense and ultimately decided to shift it a couple of months. I mean, it finally did not, and that's a good. I mean, I think we should always learn from experiences. That apart, there are also other issues which I wanted to touch upon in the professional leadership issues. I think time has come that in our government's own structures, see, when we're looking at sectors of the government like industrial sectors, or power sector, or steel sector, or education sector, I think time has come to perhaps to man these government departments with people who understand, for example, take HRD education, people who understand education, people who have been in the faculty of higher learning institutions, and sectors like steel and petroleum, get secretaries to Government of India who understand what oil and gas sector is. I mean, there are people available. I don't. The Indian expertise is pretty much well respected. I think perhaps it's more respected elsewhere than in India. I know Mr. Karthikeyan left, but before that he did make a statement about other countries like South Korea, and he referred to some other countries. But let me just give you one example of how things have changed over the years, and people always keep comparing India and China. Of course, we are equal in terms of population. I think that's where ends the similarity. Years back, today, India still produces around 7,000, plus minus a couple of hundred this side or that side. But China is producing 3 times that number. They are today's levels. And in terms of research publications, we are still maybe publishing 22,000 publications. But China is publishing 69,000 research. But not that, of course, there are issues of governance. Of course, you are a democratically elected government. China is a communist party. There are issues, but there are certain things that can happen there that can never happen in this country. If today in this country you find a huge technological project polluting the environment, or there may be environmental groups and all talking about it, but it will drag on, somebody will take it to the courts, and we have the habit of executive never functioning on any issue, executive never taking any decisions, pushing everything to the courts. Because there are so many things that where executive can take decisions. But in a country like China, and they may have had Olympic Games, if they decide that in a particular place certain industry is polluting, there are problems which is coming in the way of a particular developmental project, I'm sure that by the end of that night, next day morning, you will not find that plan there. I think that's as simple as that. So I'm just saying, I'm not saying that perhaps is the best form of governance. I mean, you need to take everybody along, but then the problem is there is also a optimal time frames where one needs to take decisions rather than dragging on for years and years. I think I'll stop here, having made few observations, more from a person being from a professional thing, but maybe I'll just end by making one other remark, I think, which is very unique, and I'm hoping that this country will benefit certainly from that, because there's an issue of always in this country of identity. You know, every time you land up any place, your identity is always questioned. They're asking n number of questions, 1,001 questions, and I think I'm glad that at least someone like Nandan Nilekani is on the scene and is talking of a unique identification authority. And of course, I don't know, for many of you may not be aware, it's not a card or it's not a physical card. It's just going to be a number. It's just going to be, I think, some digits, 9 or 10 digit number. That number means you, that's it. As simple as that. I think the system will be generated in such a manner that people can have any number of other applications on that, but that number means wherever you go and give that number, it will automatically identify that it's you. There are problems, it will be corrected and it will automatically be ensured. I think that's a very good, let's hope that all of us will get some identity over the years to come. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Walk in and get something changed, speak to the Prime Minister directly and get him to agree on some points. In today's day and time, I don't think there are too many people like that. I remember speaking about Mr. Sridharan with a common friend.